For thousands of years, water has become an inspiration to poets, painters and composers. Geologists have extracted it, hydrologists have studied it. It's used by doctors and nurses, it's sold at pubs and restaurants. And it seems the more we do study it, the more we take it for granted. From long and sinuous rivers to small and isolated streams, surely water is water, and it's the same anywhere you go. Well, not necessarily. In this, the final episode of the series, join me to explore the difference between rivers and streams. Here in Britain, we humans are extremely lucky. Nearly all of us can access water whenever we need it. And yet we rarely stop to think how life must be for our flora and fauna. Out there, fresh water isn't available 24/7. Our plants and animals really do rely on the Earth's tap. Well, to put it a different way, rain. If it doesn't rain, the only other way of our plants and animals receiving water is by our vast number of rivers and streams. One of the first differences between rivers and streams is the amount of water. You know a river when you see one. The Broads are famous for this one, the Bure. But what makes a Bure a river? Well, firstly, its cross-sectional area. The larger the channel, the more water can be carried. And it certainly isn't all for the animals and plants. Norfolk's population of boaters regularly use this river to take some time out, and it's all thanks to the large cross-sectional area. For a stream though, well, you'd find it hard getting a rubber duck to travel in these waters. Okay, well I might be exaggerating a little bit, but streams are common for not having as much water. Their cross-sectional area is much smaller. Having said this though, you might be thinking that streams are lovely and quiet, a place of relaxation and bliss. Maybe not. In fact, streams originate high up in the hills. Here in Exmoor, this stream is quite turbulent, and its erosive powers are quite high. A river, though, is less turbulent, and usually all the water flows together. Its erosive powers are less than a stream. But rivers are dynamic features and can change very rapidly. Here in Lynmouth, 50 years ago, the village suffered the consequences of a very destructive river. A flood of this magnitude may only happen 100 to 200 years, but the simple truth is that no one was ever prepared for it. It happened at night, when people were asleep. But since 1952, Lynmouth has adapted its flood management plan to make sure that it can withstand any future events. The good news is, at the majority of the time, rivers are less turbulent and flow steadily towards the sea. So rivers have a large cross-sectional area, and they are less turbulent than streams that have a very small cross-section. And there's one more difference that affects all our lives. The mineral water I keep in my fridge, and I will quote this, has been naturally sourced from the Orkill Hills in Perthshire. It's pretty tasty stuff. Very nice. Now this may not be your favourite type of mineral water, but it doesn't matter. Nearly all our bottled water comes from streams high up in the Highlands. Why? Well, streams are much often or not salt-free because they haven't had time to crystallise through the earth. But eventually, lots of streams join together to make a much larger river, and as it flows towards the mouth, the salt concentration increases. In the year of the Olympics, where these bottles of mineral water will be selling at the millions, many will forget where the water they actually purchase originally comes from. But the next time you take a swig, pause for a moment and consider it. In summary, rivers have a large cross-sectional area. They are less turbulent and are higher in salt. Streams, on the other hand, are smaller but more turbulent and have less impurities. From rocks and stones to weathering and erosion, from towns and cities to rivers and streams. Over the last 7 weeks, we've explored the diversity of our planet. And what a planet! So, the next time you are out and about, have a good old look at the landscape you're exploring. Take a photo, chat with the dog, be proud to be walking on such a diverse and varied planet. After all, where would we be without it?